Hi, Toby here from the Killer Bits, and in this video we're checking out the alpha of a new MMO, City of Steam, from Mechanist Games. On the line we have Andrew from Mechanist. Hi Andrew, how's it going?
Pretty good.
It's not gonna sound natural because we've actually been talking for about 10 minutes, but let's pretend like we haven't been doing that, and I'm going to ask you the first question, which is, what is City of Steam?
City of Steam is one of the first true, I think, browser... Wow, I need a script myself. We've always sat there. This is the other problem. We've always sat here trying to say what is City of Steam, and it's evolved so much since the beginning. But if I was to say what City of Steam is, it's about exploring a new adventure in a city.
I see. So what you're saying is that City of Steam is an adventure in a city of steam.
Yes, it is.
So it's a browser-based MMO on the Unity engine. This much I can see from this beautiful character selection screen. But like, how did the whole thing come about?
So it all started when the company kind of was founded in 2009, and Dave Lindsay and Joey Zhang, they started up with a couple other people, and working very indie in the ninth story of an apartment complex, and it kind of evolved into a bigger project. And last year we were able to get some investment, and that's where we were able to expand the scope and expand the team so that we could really explore what City of Steam is and show off different stories and really get people to understand the backgrounds. Like a lot of MMOs out there don't get you to look up the very much like racial background of what you're doing with your family and so we have a lot of family quests, and I think we're going in a different direction than a lot of MMOs out there, and it's in a browser. Yeah, we really optimize it in that respect.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a long history of sort of people in classrooms pretending to be doing IT work and sitting on RuneScape. So like, in what way is this better than existing products? I mean, RuneScape's been around for years. You've got Sherwood Dungeon. I mean, they're both awful, and they don't look anywhere near as nice as this. But what are you offering that these old games don't?
We're basically offering a nearly full package to any client-based game, so it's the accessibility out there, some really immersive stories, and there's no barrier of entry. I mean, as if you're anyone who tried to install the Java.
Oh God! Yeah.
And any update. We're using the Unity web player, and that allows us to do a couple cool things, like we can stream all the new assets, and to start the game you just need 2 megabytes. So there's nothing to it, and we want to get the story out to as many people as possible. And that's easily done.
I gotta say, like, 2 megabytes. When I saw that cityscape at the start, I almost didn't believe you. It was crazy. And now I'm sort of creating my guy. And
yeah. So for the first alpha weekend, only the human races will be available. Yeah. The kind of background of City of Steam is that there are several super powers that are vying for different power around the world, and you can choose not only a kind of race, like you have the goblin, orc, and the kind of elven classes like Draug and Riven, but you can choose a kind of ethnical background, and so you can see that we have 4 different human races. They all have a very different way of dealing with things. The quests that they have, and how they interact with family and friends is something that will you can go and try out the Stoigmari for instance, and get a whole different feel from someone who's an Avan.
It almost sounds like sort of, I remember you saying that it was based on sort of a tabletop experience, and it sounds like an actual true role-playing game, sort of similar to Neverwinter Nights, which was based on, what was it? It was based on Forgotten Realms.
Well, that's it. Dave Lindsay was writing the New Epoch, a series of tabletop books that the whole game is derived from. What we wanted to do was release them in unison. But as both the tabletop and the game were evolving, we found that you can't make a tabletop game perfectly match a video of a browser game or any game like that, and so they've diverged, and so the world is definitely still here, but a lot of the stats we had to alter, and you can't roleplay as easily with the browser. But we added a lot of elements in there for people to do that if we need to.
I gotta say, like, getting sort of old school RPGs to, well, I say old school tabletop RPGs to work as a sort of an action RPG, which is what this looks like, isn't easy. So I'm really interested to see how you sort of got this to go.
It's been a really evolving process.
Yeah, it sounds well difficult, to be honest, and kudos to you for embarking on something so ambitious. So what are these racial attributes you were talking about?
Well, for example, you'll be able to, in the alpha version, they won't be completely ready, but the different races will have extra abilities that they can use. Maybe the goblin, for example, can hop over an obstacle, that kind of thing. On top of the normal abilities that you'll see very shortly through the classes. But we have whole lines of quests that are race dependent, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to explore your family's story coming to this new city. Right now, if you're still on the character creation screen, you're on a train, and so you're headed towards the city.
That's the Nexus,
you're
right?
Headed towards the Nexus. Exactly. Yeah. And everyone has a different background, and that's what you're also choosing. You're looking into how you'll explore them. We have branching quests, so not everyone will end up in the same area.
Right.
In the kind of their own version of what goes on. And for example, in later in the third alpha weekend, when we explore and start testing out the goblin class, you'll see that they have a much bigger family. So when you're choosing it on that screen, you'll be able to see their whole family kind of sitting around that one little compartment, and it's a very different way of exploring it. It's going to be quite interesting to see how people receive it.
It really, it sounds like it. So I see here we got what, 4 classes, which I don't know. You tell me, man.
Okay, so we have the warder class, which is the kind of the point man, the heavy brute.
Yeah.
They have the swords, the mallets, these kind of things.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The channeler, the backup kind of healer class, but they still pack a quite big punch, and they have spell abilities like blind and a lot of support. Yeah. The gunner, which we've seen a lot of people fall in love with, is obviously they fire guns, and they have a lot of kind of area of effects, and they have a kind of one of the abilities allows them to place down a sentry gun. They have every class has some summons that can get out there to help out, and finally you have the Arcanist, which is the mage firepower, and they have all sorts of abilities that to damage a huge area, and every single class has 3 branching abilities. We'll see that much clearer later. They kind of have a nice steampunk ability layout.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, this whole steampunk thing, going towards, like, I'm on a train with my family emigrating towards a city. I'm going to Midgard, let's go. Creating and starting an Avon Warder. That sounds like sort of a noob class. I can do that. Okay, sweet. Okay. Oh man, it's gonna have an awesome fringe. Okay, create and...
So you're jumping onto the train, just to kind of throw out the impact here. This is not heavy on download. The train is just 1.2 megabytes, I believe, to start off that tutorial. So everything's being streamed as you go in, and it's really
you're breaking my brain, man. Like I'm looking at the trees and stuff going past in the background, and I've downloaded Korean sort of grindfest MMOs that have been 2 or 3 gigs, and they haven't looked this good at character creation. So, and I'm not just saying this to suck your dick either. This is legitimately pretty. Okay.
We really worked hard at kind of optimizing the assets so that it would stream well. A lot of it was, what are you doing? Inside this object, there's just one vertex, one vertex. It's that kind of hiding and kind of angles, and it's a lot of playing with it. But it's
sort of
to get it down to
The
size.
old
Yeah.
PS1 trick of using nice textures to cover up awful, like, cube hands.
Something like that, yeah. We actually reduced the amount of textures because we found that the textures are what takes up a lot of the space.
You see, now you're ruining all my preconceptions. Okay, I've created a character name. I've got my guy. He's got a cool little goatee. I'm gonna click start. Oh, okay. Any key to continue. So let's go. Oh, okay. What? Dude, I'm kind of flabbergasted immediately by this. I'm not a man who is easily flabbergasted. Okay. Quests. Click on the conductor. Okay, I get it. I've played an MMO. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Yeah, sorry. It's a tutorial. Okay,
we've tried I think this is our 7th iteration of a tutorial because when we started, we're all MMO players,
Yeah.
so it was like, okay, go, do it.
But you got to remember.
And we found people going like, I don't know
Yeah,
how.
you got to remember that there are always going to be 12-year-olds that need to be taught how to click on a rat.
Exactly.
Okay, control line snap, under attack, over a... Oh god. Gotta stop this train from crashing. Okay. Wow, man, I gotta say, like, I'm a big fan of, like, scrolling train environments as well, like, Uncharted 2 did it really, really well, and this is gorgeous.
Oh, that was the scene that I was saying is just over a megabyte.
Okay, so how is this a megabyte? I mean, are those like... How many orphans did you have to sacrifice to get this to work, man? This is devil. This is devil magic.
Yeah, there were packs involved. Definitely.
Okay, hey Victor. Buy the mechanism. Oh, stay calm, Dad. Or consider being calm if you check the next car and make sure we're safe. Yes, sir. I don't call my dad sir. Ah, taking me out of the experience, man. I'm kidding. No, okay, let's move up. Oh, a concerned guard. Training manual, flying creatures. These aren't fairies, Sephiroth, or glitterbugs. By the way, I was reading your bestiary, and the second I saw cockroaches, I knew that this was a game that I was excited about.
Oh, we've actually added a couple more clock roaches, like chem roaches, and yeah, we've been adding them.
Oh, God.
The artists are kind of bored at the moment. They're adding more creatures while the coders catch up.
Oh god, I know that feeling. Okay, so I hit space. Oh god, how many swords do I need?
Oh yes. So if it's not evident you'll see that you actually have different loadouts that you can set up. You can do the dual wield. You can do the shield and sword, or you can do the kind of massive, almost Final Fantasy style sword off the back.
Okay, yeah. Bearing in mind that I'm going towards a steampunk city, I'm using the big sword. I tried to give him like cloud hair, but I'm a grown up now, you know. Okay.
Almost.
So you got keyboard controls and mouse controls, and I noticed you've got sort of an almost Diablo-esque HUD going on.
We've changed it so many times. If you played last week, it was different.
Yeah.
We came up with this one. I actually like what one of our fans. We've had them in kind of testing out, looking for some bugs as well. And he said they look like lungs, and I was like, oh, that kind of works.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
do look like lungs, and it's kind of cool because they feed into the whole sort of copper look of everything, and I don't know. I'd get pretentious if I kept this sentence going, so I'm gonna keep going along this train here. Okay. So got all these compartments. Oh, looting. This is my favourite part of everything. I get so goddamn spurgy when it comes to loot. Okay. Clicking on all the boxes.
I love our box breaking.
I gotta say, it's satisfying, okay? Does he open a chest? Fuck no, he just kicks it to pieces.
We have chests too, but they have like kind of over the top animations open.
Okay, broodlings. These kind of look like those xenomorphs from Alien. I approve. Your art guys are clear. Oh god, Scorpion. This is great. Like this is like everything that 12-year-old me thought RuneScape was, but now 23-year-old me knows it never was. Oh man, I'm legitimately enjoying a tutorial in an MMO. I've never said that before. Actually, I don't know. I got WoW on like day one. I paid 160 quid to get it, and yeah, that was a mistake.
It's one way of getting it.
It's one way of like having your money taken, I guess. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, I don't know what I'd have done. Died. Hold on there for a minute. Da 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 da. Help the guard with the passengers, then go on to the next compartment. That sounds like the kind of thing I would do. Okay, I've got to say, the loading screens aren't breaking fraps either, so...
They're not breaking fraps?
No, this is a good feeling.
Yep. Oh, okay, good. We've only heard it once, and we couldn't replicate it, so...
Man.
From a Swedish guy.
Well, so long as that Swedish guy wasn't Notch. Actually, speaking of which, what are you doing with your whole payment options? That's a masterful segue from a crook onto you guys.
Oh, Notch, and then well, basically, it's a free-to-play MMO, and we'll have a lot of convenience options, a lot of options that will be much easier to explain when you open the abilities tree, etc. They'll more elaborate kind of abilities, and well, it's the same ability but over clocks is what it's called.
That's badass. So it doesn't like restrict any content. It just makes it easier if you want to play.
Well, again, to reiterate, it's a lot of extras that are dropped. It's just maybe the drop rate isn't amazing, but you can buy it. And the idea there is that you'll have our in-game currency is called Electrum.
Yeah.
With that, you can do quite a lot of different things. You can add more people to your team. So let's say you wanted a bigger team than 5, you can add. One person just needs to have that, and you can add more people. Make a dungeon a little easier, except drops maybe. Fight over a bigger drop.
Oh, but
you can do. There'll be specific dungeons that. Well, not all. Just I'm saying 1 specific or 2 specific dungeons that will be accessible just by Electrum, and you'll be able to win back Electrum through them. So that's
really?
how we.
And will you only be able to get Electrum in those specific dungeons, or will will bosses sometimes drop it, or?
It'll be something where you can win it back a little bit. It won't be too exclusive, but again, we don't want to destroy the in-game economy. It's one thing that we're really kind of concerned with. But for example, as I was saying earlier, you can socket weapons, and it actually changes the model.
Yeah.
And to do that, there's chances to upgrade your weapon. The biggest weapon that goes on your back has 10 slots.
Oh god!
And with those 10 slots, you need to upgrade your weapon to a high enough degree. So a level 0 weapon wouldn't have very many slots. So it had 0.
Yeah.
And you upgrade that, and the chance of upgrading increases with a catalyst, and the catalyst is one of the things you can buy, or it drops. Mm-hmm. That's what we're really going for, is that a little bit of a reason why we set up this company is that we worked for one of those pay-to-win games, and we didn't want to ever make a pay-to-win game.
Okay, so I've just got my first ability, Scattering Slash. That sounds awesome. Okay. Oh, okay. I hit accept. I love the look of the skill tree. Like, I'm not a big fan of steampunk, as a rule. Not for any particular reason. I just there's a lot of sort of steampunk kids around here, and they're just sort of they're what happens when goths discover brown,
Yeah. Well, we just to clarify, we like to call it an industrial age fantasy, because it's not full on steampunk. And if we encounter a lot of really hardcore steampunk fans, play the game and go, "Hey, this isn't steampunk. We never said it was." It's more of an industrial age fantasy because how things happen is very, from the steampunk side. There's a reason for
Yeah.
it. Right as you finish the tutorial, I can show you the player stash is a system of pneumatic
Oh
tubes.
God, yeah, yeah.
So,
The boss was telling me about them.
so there's always like the reason for it, and but it does have that fantasy, abilities and the kind of creatures, that kind of side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a
I
very
looked at your world map and it broke my mind. Like it was kind of Discworldy, but it was made of cogs, man.
we really like that. Did you try the animated
Yeah,
version?
yeah. It was the
Yeah.
first thing that my laptop has ever done that hasn't caused it to burst into flames.
But if you're looking at that, it was a 1 megabyte download for
Uh,
you when you wanted.
no, it wasn't. It was 300 megabytes and oh, shops. Okay, right. Hello, wounded guard. Do you have anything to say? Did you see that thing? See what? Ooh, foreshadowing. I gotta say, my character portrait seems to be some ginger guy. That's literally my only complaint. So, oh, hello, wounded guard. You have something for me to do. You can tell because you've got an exclamation mark. Anything I can do to help? Health jabs. Oh, okay. Okay. Right, so I just need to buy one of these, drag it across. I think I needed. It says I need one, but there are 2 guards, so I'll get 2. Eh? Okay, accept. Oh, apparently I need to. Oh, I've already. What? Okay, it's an alpha. I'll let that slide.
What
Oh,
happened?
nothing. The quest just sort of. The guy just sat down and stood up and sat down and stood up again. It was. It was more funny than anything else. Don't worry. It was.
I mean, he meant to do it. He was
Oh,
testing it out.
absolutely. He was testing out these health jabs. Oh man.
Yes, exactly.
This is one thing that I always think whenever I'm like. I'm playing a warrior in any of these. Like when I was playing Neverwinter Nights, I always thought I was like, man, I love clicking on stuff. Like,
A lot of people say they love that they're they say put more boxes. I want to break something all the time.
I gotta say, like, it's kind of reminding me of Diablo, but in a good way. In the way that Diablo 3 doesn't remind me of Diablo. Oh shit! What is that? What is that?
Oh, wow.
Oh god! Oh, the Songbreaker. It's like Kamehameha-ing me.
We like it. You're kind of thrown right in there.
Oh god! I was not expecting this. Okay. Oh, ow. Okay. Use my click. My click attack. I'm breaking my boss's mouse right now. I'm furiously clicking.
You can also spam the key to the left of 1.
Yeah. But that's not clicking. Okay.
No, clicking is there. It's not your mouse.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
Okay.
it's not my mouse, so I can do whatever the fuck I like right now. Oh, hello, a chest. Oh man, there better be some huge. Why am I glowing? Where's the thing that tells me where my status is? That. Oh, hang on. I think I might have just leveled up. Oh no, no, I'm being retarded. Ah, fuck you, box. My worst enemy. Okay, right, I've got a key. Oh, okay. Now all I need to do is use the key on this door and stop the. Why was the rail hauler taken over by vampires? This.
Why not?
You know what? That's literally the greatest. It's not like kill 15 rats. It's your train headed towards this huge city has been attacked by vampires. Try not to die.
The Brood, as we call them. They if you wanted to know the backstory, they come from the plates the gears underneath that main
Yeah,
gear, and you can
I
see the.
saw them. They look kind of like almost going into huge D&D like nerd mode here, but they look kind of underdarky.
Yeah, they're sometimes we refer to them when we role played as different planes almost.
Yeah.
But you know the idea of the world was that when you go to another plane, you can walk to it.
I I get you. I mean, did you ever play? I gotta say, your whole aesthetic kind of reminds me of what was it called? Resonance of Fate, I think it was. It was a JRPG. It had Nolan North in it.
Oh no, we hear a lot of people say that it looks like reminds them of Arcanum.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of Arcanum a bit. Yeah. Okay, Enter the Refuge. Oh, I see. So I'm some kind of badass blonde RPG protagonist refugee man.
Oh yeah, well, what I mean, they don't just let anybody into
Oh,
Nexus.
damn right. I mean, we've got enough of these problems with all these bloody green people coming with their orange hair.
Well, that's it. We've added the kind of racism for green skin.
Hey, it's not racism if they're green, okay? That's just common sense.
Actually, when we were at GDC San Francisco, I kind of had one of those situations where this black guy was saying to me, "There's no black people. What am I going to say to my dog?"
Oh, I
And then he just looked at me, staring down at me, and then said, "I'm just kidding. It's
yeah.
awesome."
What's wrong? Are they not allowed into the Nexus?
Where are your black
Where,
people?
where
What am I going to show?
is there no sun? I saw like a desert cog. Oh God, it's you. Okay, right. In that case,
I am M7 Gunner 30.
apparently so. Right. Well, that's about all we've got time for. So if you would like to subscribe, follow us on Twitter at The Killer Bits, and check us out on Facebook. Really hope that you liked this video. If you didn't, kind of tough.